Greetings and salutations, YouTubers. This is ZillaFan85, back today with my latest video, my latest figure review. Today, an exciting treat for you guys. We're going to go ahead and take a look at my X Plus Ray Harryhausen Film Library Cyclops figure. And like I said, just a real exciting treat. I'm a massive Ray Harryhausen fan. Love his films. Love his special effects work. You know, he's definitely a legend and really revolutionized special effects. You know, because stop motion was still kind of in its infancy. I know we had, you know, the original King Kong. Willis O'Brien did the effects on that in 1933, but just the way that he kind of, you know, went off of that because he loved King Kong, and then kind of made it his own, and just really, like I said, just really revolutionized it, in my opinion anyway. And, you know, again, though, very excited here because the Cyclops is from my favorite of the Ray Harryhausen films, that being 1958's The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. So, super excited to have this figure in my collection. Like I said, this is from the Ray Harryhausen Film Library collection from X Plus. So, just really cool stuff. I do have the dragon as well, which was the other figure from this line from Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. I'll review that next time. But for the purposes, obviously, of this review, you know, really love the Cyclops here. So, definitely excited to review this guy. We're going to go ahead and jump into it. I want to start actually with the little card that it came with here. It's a little tag, and it's a real, as you guys can see, it's like a really hard piece of cardboard here, this tag. So very cool. You got the Cyclops on the front here. Nice money shot there. Very cool. Of course, Cyclops there. Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, as you guys can see. This is number one. This is the number one figure in the line. So they numbered all the, I believe that there was 8 in total, if I'm not mistaken. So this was the first one, though. Very cool. And then you guys can just see the inside. Just a warning label on the inside here. Of course, X Plus USA. And of course, you got number one, Cyclops. Yep, 1958, Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. And this figure is supposed to be in the 8-inch scale, so we'll go ahead, though, and look at that once we do get to sizing. But you can see all the sculpt work there, you know, who was done by, etc., etc. Again, from the Ray Harryhausen Film Library. And then, of course, collect them all. And you see a shot of the figures on the back there. So, nice selection of figures. And, of course, you got the X Plus logoing and Columbia. Very cool. Anyway, set that aside. Now we'll look at the figure, and we'll look at the paint and the detail work first. So we'll start here at the face. So you got the eye that, of course, that's kind of the first thing you think of with the Cyclops, is that large one eye that he's got. And just a real nice paint job there. It's got, you know, got the white eyeball, and of course, you got the pupil here. It's done this sort of brown. You got a black outline of it, and then, of course, the black dot in the center there for the pupil. So hopefully, camera will somewhat pick that up for you guys. So try to showcase there. Very nice. And of course, you got some nice detail work for that brow above his eye there. Nice texturing and whatnot, and of course more texturing lines and grooves on his forehead here. And then of course you got that horn, signature horn on the top of his head, and that's done in a very light brown color. It's even got a little bit of a wash on it as well, and it's fairly sharp to the touch. It's a nice hard plastic here. Nice texturing on the horn as well. And got the ears, the very pointy ears on either side. So very cool. And then of course got all the scales and whatnot, and all the wrinkles and such on the sides of his face, and these sort of bumps or osteoderms, I guess if you want to call them. mixed in with the scales along his face. Very, very cool. His paint scheme done in this sort of tannish brown color on the upper portion of his body. And of course, there's different shades of brown as well. So some's a little bit more pronounced here. Bit of a got the duller shade, and then you got the more highlighted shades of brown here, so you guys can see all along his chest with the scales. And of course, the muscles there. Really, really nice attention to detail. I really dig it. Again, more of those osteoderms along his arms. As you guys can see on both sides, some nice musculature along the arms, of course, with some wrinkles and even some veins popping out too. Very, very cool on both sides there, as you guys can see. And then, of course, running down into the hands here, the claws, these three-fingered hands that he's got here. Some sharp claws on the ends there. Those still done in that sort of tannish brown color, but they look pretty good nonetheless. Nice detail work on the palms as well on both sides. And the hands are each in a little bit different of a pose, which I appreciate as well. So very, very cool. Nice wrinkle work and texturing along the hands. Very, very nice. And of course the back, you got more musculature, more scales and osteoderms. You also have that row of spikes that go down from the back of his neck here down to about his waist area. So again, nice attention to detail there. I mean, X Plus is you know, certainly second to none when it comes to detail. So very, very awesome. Oh, and one thing I almost forgot too, you got the detail work for the mouth. So you got the tongue in there, and of course the teeth painted in this sort of off-white bone color here. As you guys can see, and you got like a pinkish color for the teeth and the roof of the mouth and everything. And pretty nice attention to detail there, I'd say. So very, very cool. And of course, moving down into the legs here, where it's like these furry sort of, I don't know what you'd almost call them, like a satyr or something like that, right? Like the half goat kind of thing for the legs. So very, very furry here, done in this very dark brown, and some shades of some of the, almost like a sort of bronzest brown running down as well. And then you just sort of got the patterning there for the fur. It's done pretty nice. I certainly like that. You guys can see all around. And of course, go down the legs. It's pretty muscular, musculature as well. And then, of course, you go down to these hooves, these goat-like hooves that he's got for the feet. And a little bit lighter shading of a brown for those hooves. Very, very cool. You can see the bottom. Of course, got lighter brown here. And of course, you got the X Plus made in China. And the trademark 1958, and then 2001 when the figure was actually made. Of course, Columbia Pictures produced the film. Very, very awesome. So I think that about covers it for the paint and the detail. It's a little tricky to get them to stand, as you guys can see. So you just got to kind of fudge with the arms and the positioning of the legs a little bit just to get them to stand upright. But it's doable. So anyway, other than that, though, as far as articulation goes, so you do have rotation here at the base of the neck where it joins into the shoulders. So you can swivel. And it will go all the way around if you wanted to do 360, so you got that. Nice added bit of detail is you actually have an articulated jaw here, as you guys can see. So it's on a bit of a hinge. And so you can actually close it like so. It doesn't always stay fully closed, but then you can open it up like that and have him with a nice roaring look. So very, very cool. So I really like that. And it was definitely a nice addition. And then, of course, you got rotation here at the arms on both shoulders here, both arms. You can go all the way around. Both sides, as you guys can see. And then you've got a swivel at both legs here. Or before I get to that, though, we've actually got a waist joint but I don't know if it actually moves all that much. It ever so slightly. Oh, I guess you just got to loosen it up, so I apologize there. So, but you can actually swivel that, and it will go all the way around. So, pretty cool. And then, of course, again, like I said, rotation at both legs here, where they join into the hips. And these, if you move the arms out of the way, these will go all the way around as well. And then you've even got additional articulation here at the ankles so that you can swivel the hooves. And again, both sides go all the way around. So really a nice bit of articulation on this guy. So I definitely appreciate it. So very cool. And that pretty much covers it for the articulation. I mean, for a vinylish hard plastic kind of figure like this, that's quite a bit of articulation. So, like I said, I'm pretty impressed by that. And other than that, as far as sizing goes, now go ahead and get the ruler out for you guys. Make sure he stands upright. And let's see, let's make sure you got on the right side here. Inches. Sorry about that. Okay, just to show you guys here, lift up the camera. And apologize. It keeps falling over. Like I said, it's a little tricky getting him to stand. It's a little bit shy of the 8-inch range, though, when you look at the top of his horn. Basically around between the top of his horn and the top of his head, you're looking at a roughly 7.5 inches or so. It's marketed as an 8-inch figure. It's probably a little bit less than that, but still pretty beefy size nonetheless. And just as a size comparison, like I said, I will review the Dragon next time, and we'll do the size comparison between those when I do that review. So, just for this time's sake, we'll take a look at the SH Monster Arts 1954 Godzilla, just so you guys can see the size difference there. So, he's, of course, more in the 6-inch range. So, because this guy does stand, it's a little bit less than 8 inches, but you still can see the size difference there. So obviously not really going to work, and I mean the Cyclops is much smaller than Godzilla anyways, and per film. So, but just so you guys can see what you're kind of dealing with here. So, and put him aside here. And as far as pricing goes, these are more vintage type figures. So you guys do have to realize that. Now you can find them. You probably eBay and places like that are going to be your best bet. But again, they're vintage figures and they're pretty sought after. So if you're going to look to pick the Cyclops tends to be a little bit more rare, I think, than some of the other figures in the line. So I usually see him going for at least about $100 and up. So that is one thing to keep in mind. But, if you guys are willing to pay to play and you want this in your collection, definitely a great way to go. I highly recommend it. Yeah, definitely, like I said, a really great way to go for sure. And other than that, I think that about wraps it up for this video, folks. I would like to thank you guys so much for watching. If you would like to subscribe, please feel free to do so. If you would like to like and or comment on any of my videos, please feel free to do so as well. And just remember, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, you be good to yourselves, and sayonara.